man.
Evil out where he finds it.
Yeah, you know he old. Leave him alone.
He is the king.
Trigger Mike, what you had a question?
Just a question. So if all of our ears are open as men and we want,
Hold on now, Mike. Hold on. Tell me. You and Love do the same thing. Now, are you telling me it's a question just to get your statement in?
No. I'm telling y'all my ears are open and I want.
Go ahead. I'm watching you. Go ahead.
This is a real question. What, to Dana's point about what she said about y'all getting approached, and that happens a lot, and I could believe you, and that's a sincere point or a real point. What can we do as men to stop it? What do you think we can do to stop that from happening to you?
That's a good question. Can I answer first? Because I've experienced that, not the spitting, but I have experienced somebody calling me a bitch just because I did not want to give away my phone number. And this was a long time ago. But what I think could have been done differently is he could have approached me correctly, as in not being a million feet away. Hey, girl, you, or whatever, just something disrespectful. Because I don't like that. If you want to talk to me, come to where I am, or we can meet. It don't matter. I just would like to be respectfully approached and not called out of my name.
Just to add context to the question, I'm sorry. What can we, like the men of the community, what can we actually do to stop that from happening?
Approach women respectfully.
No. What I mean is that I'm never going to do that in my life. And most of the men like me, we're gonna take no for an answer. You have a good night. I just got rejected. So to the men that won't listen, that won't get right, that are maladjusted, that weren't raised right, what can me, an upstanding man and leader in the community, what can I actually do to stop him from doing that?
You guys have to hold each other accountable. And I feel like conversations like this, conversations like last week are where you guys immediately attack and you're immediately on the offense and immediately, what did she do? Yada, yada, yada. The conversation needs to come first. Hold this man accountable. And then let's find out what the details are. The details are null and void at this very moment. Let me make sure that she's okay, or let me make sure that this man knows that this behavior is not okay. And then we'll figure the shit out later. Or maybe. I mean, it doesn't always work that way. It depends on the situation, obviously, of course. I'm speaking very generally. But overarchingly, you all need to be able to hold yourselves accountable and stop placing so much blame on us.
Anybody else?
No. I mean, to me, I don't feel like there's nothing that can be done. Yep. I think there's nothing that can be done. If somebody wants to be disrespectful, if a man want to be disrespectful, or he asks you for your number and he call you out of your name, for me, once they're not following me or anything like that, or even if they are following me, I try to go somewhere safe and maybe call the cops or something. Because, I mean, even if another man tell him like, oh, stop doing what you're doing, if that's what he wants to do, he's going to do it anyway. So they have no control of that. These men are just out there with no control. They don't respect women, and that's who they are. You can't change them. So I just think it's better for you to, if they're not following you, just walk away and keep going. And if they are following you, try to find a safe place to go and call the police.
Indeed.
Boy, I hear what you're saying, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Mike, but I think he's speaking on an overarching base, like a community level, as opposed to specific instances or situations. Is that correct?
I am. I mean, but she kind of answered it.
He likes her answer better, Dana.
No, please don't do that. She said she started.
No, you showed it.
She started the answer by saying there's nothing that can be done. That's the overarching answer, because there's actually nothing that can be done.
Why'd you
and
ask
my point. Hold on.
Then why ask the question, Mike?
Hold on. I mean, don't be disingenuous.
No, you are, because you asked the question with an answer in mind.
Ladies, my actual point is that nothing.
So you didn't have the question at a point to make.
Every man that is going to listen has listened. Every man that wants to raise a good family, everybody, we all listen, and we live out here teaching our sons how to treat women. We cannot speak, nor can we correct everybody else. In fact, accountability, like you said, Dana, it already happens. 90+% of the prison population is men. They fuck up bad enough, they going to jail. That's accountability for me.
Mike, what was your goal? What was your goal, though? Because it seemed for a second like you were actually genuine and wanted to know what our our feedback was, what our thoughts were. So what? Because
I said I wanted some education.
Mike, I'm not done asking the question, so you can answer it yet. All right. So if that was not the intent, what was the purpose in just asking us the question, knowing that you already had an answer in mind?
No.
You were just going to disregard everything that we said.
Hold on. I knew what I thought.
Don't tell me to hold on and you're interrupting me. Go ahead.
I knew what I thought, but I said I'm asking for education. What can we do as men to help protect y'all better?
But you
I don't think anything can be done. And I accept the answer.
And that's fine.
I still think it's wrong.
That's fine.
And I'm telling you that she said accountability for men is jail.
Okay.
You just want to argue.
Well, I want to get John and John.
You just want me to agree with you.
No, I want to get John and Baptist in, honestly, because John's up here and it's 1 o'clock, and I at least want to get him to say something. And Uncle Geoff is the first time up here. So I'm at least let him say something real quick because it is 1 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. So thank you, Mike. But John, do you have anything to say quickly?
Yeah, my point is this. I got some smoke for the men tonight. Chivalry started out as being between men, and it was later on hijacked by the women for women. And I want to say this: men, we have to stop saying, whether you believe it or not, stop saying that you would not hit, or that it's not right in any situation for you to hit a woman. Whether you believe it or not, stop saying it. Whether you would act on it or not act on it, stop making that statement. Because there are people with bad intentions are actually using that statement against you. So stop making statements that's allowing people to misuse your statement against you. Even if you wouldn't do it, don't say it. Because people who are going to push the limit are going to push the limit because they know that you won't do anything about it.
John, who are these people, John?
Men who say this. Men who say, I would never hit a woman. Whoever said that?
Who are you talking about acting with bad intentions?
Oh, females that have bad intentions.
Okay.
Let me get this super chat. Hand, put the back up, please. Real quick.
I didn't get to finish.
I'm sorry. So real quick, because he's been up for a long time. I should have read it before you started talking. I'm sorry. Savage Red Recovery found a super chat. Men have to change behavior in the world. Okay. We are telling you guys this because as men, we care. It's not about what's okay. We are talking about what it is. Thank you, Savage. And I can respect that statement. Seriously. Unpopular Truth, $5 super chat. Hamp saying the same things we said, but they listening because it's all about delivery.
And he's a leader.
And he is. Caesar's Palace, $5 super chat. Thank you. Ratchet. You're being disrespectful to me by calling yourself Ratchet. I'm offended. I'm also offended by your nose ring. Way she was talking crazy. I think that's sarcasm. I think. Savage, $5 super chat. Dana, you're saying we need holding him accountable, but it never happened. So it would be the men crashing out for lying woman. Child, you're just doing good for a minute. Mike Brown, $2 super chat. Who has that house phone? Uncle Geoff? Uncle Geoff got a house phone.
Uncle Geoff, yeah. Because when the grid go down, something that people don't know is that landlines work and that you can use Morse code. That's how the military contacts one another. But because we have been detached from analog and we don't have much respect for what comes before us, we think that access to knowledge is the same thing as wisdom, and it is not. The janitor has keys to the library.
Put him in the fucking bedroom. Get him out of here. Come on.
Thank you, Hamp. We needed that one. Go ahead, John.
You still got a CB radio?
Just because you said that.
Bruh, I had a CB radio. I got a marine radio, the boat radio. All that shit you're going to need when the shit hit the fan. I got all that shit. So niggas can laugh their ass off till they out of here.
I bet you Dana get in line when that shit go down. She going to come look for you.
Bruh, and they be right at my door talking about what you got. I got bullets.
John I just said I'm gonna get me a landline.
Yeah, y'all go ahead. Y'all rock out. Go ahead, rock out.
Get you a landline, a shotgun, and a big dog.
Look, Uncle Geoff, I don't want to hear that shit. If this shit start to fall apart, you come to my house, nigga. We'll figure it out.
My man. That's what's up.
John, you gotta finish, John. Hold on, Uncle Geoff. I gotta get.
I finished. I'm good.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
I did. I'm good.
You said it's the women who take advantage of men saying you would never hit a woman. Is it that egregious that you saying you just can't say it, period? It's too dangerous to say that.
Yeah, you have to stop saying it because women are using that statement against you now. And I'm not promoting hitting women, but I'm saying stop saying it. Stop saying what you want to do, because what you're doing is you're limiting your ability to handle a situation. A man should never take off the table of any option of controlling the situation, because you don't know what you're going to need at any single moment to control a situation. And so you're putting your hands behind your back saying, I will never do this, when something may happen when you have to do this.
Damn.
Brother John got a point.
John,
I'd like to push back just a little bit on it. I agree with 96% of it. I'm on the same page. I don't believe a man should ever put his hands on a woman, but that don't mean you can't pay somebody. I don't. I think you should be able. I think you should be able to pay female felons that just got out of jail to slap the shit out of the women none of y'all like. It's some women none of y'all like. That don't take care of their kids. They're spending all the abortion money on nice shoes. Them women. The women. Here's the biggest problem in communication, man to woman. And let's address them dudes that talk to y'all foul. I'm gonna apologize for them. First off, shout out to how civil y'all have been talking to one another. This is very refreshing to see.
Thank you, Uncle Geoff. Thank you.
Number two, there's a threshold that we do hold men accountable to. I don't know one man that I respect that takes care of his children that condones a man that don't take care of his. I don't know one man that does not put his hands on his woman that condones a man who puts his hand on his woman. And amongst us, amongst this tribe, I guarantee you, if me, Hamp, John, and Hank was in the same city, from what I'm hearing here, if they represent themselves that way accordingly for real, we ain't dealing with none of them niggas. The other hand is that every group of women I know got a skank in that group that they all point to. You can't tell me what I don't know, sisters. Of course, this does not apply to
shit like that. Shit like that.
I'm about to say, I love Tay.
Yes, the fuck it does.
Dana, Ratchet, sisters. I'm about to say some stuff that you've never heard of.
You might be looking at
seen these people. Go off, there's only I like to say that as much as y'all hate the word bitches, y'all hate the word bitches, and I understand you should, but and they seem to disappear when we talk to you classy queens. So I'm only talking about 3 of them. There must only be 3 bitches, but these 3 bitches are extremely busy. They are keying up all the cars because somehow they disappear. And this is the problem. This is the problem. When you talk about accountability, here's what we see. You cannot tell me what I don't see. I can't tell you what it is, but I'm going to tell you what it looked like. And it looks like to me that whenever we talk about the foul, cantankerous gutter snipes that we cannot stand, the beautiful queens we are not talking about circle the wagons around them and start to defend them from you get ready to die on a pseudo pink hill. This is what we see. When we come to you with complaints, here is what I think we hear. Here's what we hear. Here's what we never hear. When I come to complaints to sisters, I never hear this. Man, I never thought about it that way. How can we from our end fix it? This isn't what I'm hearing. And I'm sure you ladies have said it countless times in the conversations you've been in, but in the conversations that I have been in, and in the travels that I have been in, sisters generally they hit you with not meism, what aboutism, men do it too-ism. And the biggest problem with this is that none of that helps you. Right now, no man on this problem is having a mate problem or a date problem. There is no great American black woman shortage. There isn't. You outnumber us by 2 million, and that's a fact, which means that we want to get to those of you we can work it out with. But y'all gonna have to let the heifers walk the plank, and you don't. You don't.
And that's
the policing. I'll say this and I'll shut up. The policing of our own is far more easy for you than it is for us, because the dudes that are too far gone for us will try to kill us. The sisters that are too far gone from you just need to be told, Tracy, you full of shit for not letting Marcus see this boy because he ain't got no money.
Yeah. So let me
Tracy,
say this.
You full of shit. You full of shit for constantly telling these kids how they ain't shit in front of they and talking about their father in front of them. Y'all could easily do that.
We do.
Oh, exactly.
So let me say
sorry,
this.
Love. I didn't mean you. I'm sure you.
Well, no. Let me say this, Uncle Jeff. You're being very sarcastic right now. I'm being
any
very
ladies
serious
here because you've never seen or heard or
That's
been
not what
around
I'm
any of
saying.
these women
That's
I'm
not
talking
what I'm
about. And when
saying.
you
What
are,
I'm-
goddamn it, you pull your capes out and make it happen. And so I'm not talking about you. I'm
so
talking
listen,
about
what I'm
maybe the
saying
few
is, I
women
don't have-
this might apply to who are not here.
Okay. So as I was saying, so of course I know plenty of women, and I do hold my friends accountable. We hold ourselves, we hold each other accountable. And so no, we're not perfect. So we may have 5 good traits and 2 or 3 bad traits. And because we're friends, we will tell one another, yeah, you wrong for doing that. So no, we're not hanging around perfect individuals. We never claim to be perfect women. Nobody up here has claimed to be perfect. But what we do is that when we see one another doing something that's off kilter, we will pull the other to the side and sit there and say, that's not right. So we're not saying we're perfect, but we do see things within one another.
Okay.
And we'll call it out.
Let's
That's
take
all I'm
this
saying.
out of your
So we're
circle.
not perfect.
Let's take this out of
For
your
love,
circle and
did
apologize.
any of y'all call out the way Dana was acting last week? I didn't see it on the show. I may have missed it.
Yeah, you
Did
missed
any
it. I
of y'all
was on the
ladies?
show last week. I wasn't on the show last week.
Okay. Any ladies that was on the show, did anybody call Dana out for her activity?
I don't feel like she was 100% wrong in some of the comments that she made. Some of these people, like I said before, Trigger
Jeff,
Mike is
you're
very
exactly
condescending.
Right. There's no accountability.
I didn't
love
think you
that said we hold each other accountable.
We
and
do.
Brother Hank,
But wait,
Brother
hold
Hank,
up.
you didn't.
What about
I don't
the
remember
men?
you. And again, ladies, you have to listen to us closer because man speak is a much simpler language. Man speak and woman speak are different. They're like Spanish and Portuguese. They sound the same, but they're not. Hank did not once say she was wrong. He did not say anything about her context. I believe he was discussing her behavior, and the sister came on and defended her context. He didn't say she was wrong. He said her behavior was out of line, and he said in that out of being forgive me, correct me if I'm wrong, Brother Hank, because I wasn't there. In this sister's foul behavior, no other sister has said, hey, no, we don't do that.
Because
as a matter of
her ratchet sit there and say, I didn't see nothing wrong with it.
Right, because he was in reaction.
But you don't just take a piece of what I said. Take exactly what I said. I said that I don't think some of the stuff that she said. Now, I said some of that stuff that she said was warranted. I don't think everything, her complete behavior was wrong. She was drinking. She was triggered. She even said that in the beginning. And yet people started to antagonize her. So whatever came out of her mouth after that, and y'all can read the comments, I said that. Whatever came out of her mouth after that, you can't sit here and police her when you're antagonizing someone that clearly said, I'm triggered by this conversation.
Okay, well, sister, here's the pushback on that. Number one, the earmark of insanity is to say that whatever you do is justified by however you feel. God damn it, why did you burn my car up, Sheila? Well, shit, I was mad. That's not the end of the conversation. Our person is involved.
You know what is really grinding my gears is that the men here, it just seems like all y'all want to do is just point the finger at the woman. I didn't hear not one person say, you know what, guys, maybe we shouldn't be joking about throwing a brick at a woman, or maybe we shouldn't be joking about abusing women. All of y'all come up here and be like, oh, well, women. And to answer Trigger Mike's question, as a leader, as a man, if you have a platform, you need to hold men accountable as well. No, yes, women, we should hold each other accountable. Women can be wrong, they can be disrespectful, they can be all of that. But as a man, you need to also, while you're dispelling women for what they do wrong, also call out the men like I did. But nobody hears what I say. All y'all want to do is say, "Oh, she's taking up for her."
John, she been asleep. She ain't paying attention the whole damn
Hey DJ,
show.
Hey Ham, can I ask the man a question?
Yeah.
Come on, man. You ain't been paying attention.
What do you mean?
Ham,
I watched the show 3 times after I was on the show. I did not hear or see any of y'all hold men accountable for laughing about abusing women.
There was a
Like,
sense
it's not
of
okay.
accountability today, ma'am. That men was holding each other accountable.
When?
And yet you didn't hear all that.
When?
Okay.
Yes, last week. Because you can rewatch the show.
I'm pretty sure if I asked every man on this panel more than once in their lifetime, have you ever seen a man acting ill in a bad way towards a woman? Have you ever did anything about it on more than one occasion? I'm pretty sure every man would say yes 2 or 3 times and more.
Mm-hmm.
Because men hold each other accountable all the time.
I'm talking about, like, while y'all sitting here, oh, y'all didn't hold Dana accountable. Y'all ain't holding the men accountable for antagonizing her, joking about abusing women with abusive women, period. Is not okay unless a woman put their hands on you.
Okay, first off,
y'all won't hold Dana. You don't hold Dana accountable. You don't hold the other men accountable. How about you?
Can I say something?
I am addressing what do you mean address the panel? Because I'm responding to what y'all saying. Like, okay, you know what? What I realize in these spaces is men like y'all, I'm just gonna let y'all have it. Because at the end of the day, we always wrong, y'all. No matter what we do, men don't do anything wrong. They could beat women, abuse them with bricks.
I love you, but that's called polarizing.
Like y'all.
That's called polarizing. Here's what happens. This is how communication falls apart. I am going to say something that is the needle in the red. It's all the way over here. That men never do anything. Axiom number 3. Never speak to a man in absolutes, because he will absolutely always tell you you're wrong. Because nothing is always or never. Never use that when you're trying to debate with a man. You never take me out. Wrong. I took you out 5 years ago. And he's right. Here's how you tell a man that same thing. Babe, I really want to spend some time with you. And I don't seem to be getting the time that I need lately. He can't argue that because there's no always or never in it. What you're really saying, sis, is I didn't feel this brotherly love I'm supposed to feel when the other night y'all was making jokes about a sister getting hit in the face with a brick. Coincidentally, on Wednesday, tomorrow night at 7 LA time, check into Giraffe Balls, where I get high as giraffe balls on YouTube. And you know what tomorrow night's subject is? How not to get hit in the face with a brick. I outline how not to get hit in the face with a brick.
Who are you talking to, women? Why are you talking to women?
I'm not going to say that any man is excused for using any violence against any sister. I've got a mama, I got niece, I got a daughter. I am not going to say that any man is justified in any of that. What I'm going to address is the fact that the queen's shoes don't get muddy because the queen don't walk in the mud. I am going to address the fact that there is not a face brick epidemic. That there is not people just walking out the bank, coming out of church, and getting drive-by bricks in the face. I submit to you, ladies, that you will more than likely die from an unopened parachute, be eaten by an alligator, or struck by lightning before someone hauls off and arbitrarily hits you in the face with a brick. But there are ways to avoid it. I've got some ideas.
Talking to men. Like, why don't y'all men talk to men? Like, I don't understand.
What makes you? Here's. I'll answer that for you, sister.
You know, let me
I'll answer that for
on
you.
mute.
I will answer that for you. I'll answer that for you. We don't talk to brothers in mass because we have been taken from brothers in mass. I can promise you that the brother who hit this sister in the face with a brick was not a member of the Nation of Islam. He wasn't a Black Panther. He wasn't a so-called Christian. There are groups of us who do talk to one another. We just don't get the press.
How can you feel comfortable talking to a mass of women but not a mass of men? Like, I think that's where my sentiment comes in. I can say, yes, women, we shouldn't be talking to men any type of way. I said that last week. I don't play like that. I don't play with guys like that, right? But at the same time, I did not hear people saying, okay, well, if a woman rejects you, you shouldn't be hitting her with a brick. Like, why are y'all constantly talking to women?
Let me just clarify one thing quick. Till this day, a woman has not been hit with a brick in the face. So just FYI, now that we know what is actually real with that story, no woman has been hit in the face with a brick. The bitch was lying.
Whoops.
Is the point.
Hold on, Hemp. You called her a B. You can't say that, Hemp.
Me? Yeah. Oh, I can call a bitch for sure.
No, you can't call us. No, you know, John. The point was that I'm gonna tell you why. Call us when on the panel.
When you do that, brother, here's what happens. You give sisters an out. You give them an out when you call them a bitch. Just hold on just a second. Hold on. I got a word for him, brother. I got a word.
Hold on. All of y'all chill for a second. They know, just like the women up here, they know a bitch when they see one too. So a bitch that could pull that type of shit and lie and steal 40,000 from motherfuckers, a thief is the worst type of motherfucker you can be. So if I'm gonna call anybody a bitch, it's definitely a liar, thief, and a motherfucker like that. Point blank. Period.
But
if anybody up here, hold on, Uncle Geoff, goddamn it. I'm sorry. And I know for a fact nobody up here got a problem with me calling that bitch a bitch.
I don't, but here's what I'm getting at, brother. Please, just okay. The women who have a problem with the word bitch, also, if not, they're hypocritical, have a problem with the word elevator, plane, door, and gate, because all of those words have multiple meanings. It is easy. It's easy. You let them off the hook when they get upset about the word bitch. All bitch is, sisters, is a shortcut because we don't want to say foul, vile, untrustworthy, cantankerous, nasty mouth gutter snipe every time we mean bitch. So let's stop saying bitch, but we got to talk about them women. Let's call them rutabagas. Nobody's using that word. That's an old vegetable word. Let's call them rutabagas. Do you have a problem, sisters? If I talk about foul mouth, nasty ass, cantankerous, trifling, fucking don't take care of their kids, take the child support money and go and buy Gucci loafers with it, the stinking ass heifers that you don't like, is it all right if we call them rutabagas?
Yeah.
Say whatever you
there
want.
You go. Now they can't hide. Now they can't talk about if I'm a bitch, your mama's a bitch. You talk about a female dog. No, I'm not. I'm talking about a stinking ass rutabaga. And if you gonna lie about getting hit in the face with a brick, you are an untrustworthy, evil shit starting stinking ass rutabaga.
I agree. If you think I'm not gonna start calling these bitches rutabagas, you out your mind. But real quick, can I just ask a question? Geoff, I like you so much. This shit is hilarious.
I love Uncle Geoff. I can't roll with it.
Come on now, call them rutabagas. They can't say shit then.
I like Uncle Geoff. I like it to sting, bro. I need the.
You don't think rutabagas rutabaga sting, nigga?
Hell nah.
How do we know
Everybody.
what it means? You
Uncle
fucking
Jeff.
ass rutabaga, and she
Uncle
can't
Jeff.
say shit.
Uncle Jeff, you got niggas in the chat trying to look up Webster what the fuck a rutabaga. By the time
It's a vegetable you don't never hear. You ain't never seen it in the store, so they can't say shit. I took a word from the past, what nobody using.
Yeah. Hey, Uncle
This
Jeff.
is for the bitches.
Nah,
like
real
rutabaga.
Real shit. Just on that rutabaga point, Dana, I want to get you in. So, Uncle Jeff, I own a moving company, right? And so we walk into a house, and if it's some bullshit, I'll be like, "Yo, this is a honey bun." So the customer don't know it's a shit show, but my team be like, "Okay, we got some shit." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we talking wild shit to the customer, like, "We fuck you, lied, we hate you." But this is a honey bun as opposed to saying what we want to say. So that makes sense.
They now know what you're talking about, him.
Yeah, my team be like, "Oh, okay, this is a honey bun. All right,
This is a honey bun situation we dealing with here."
Yeah. And I can say that in front of the client. She like, "Oh yeah." I said, "Yeah, I only like Cinnabons. I don't like honey buns."
Right.
And we just keep going. You know what I mean?
Right.
Dana, what you wanted to get in real quick?
Trying to get this in for a second, but just really
Y'all
quickly.
old motherfuckers got to go to sleep. All of y'all up here old too. Damn.
You say that like you don't want to get old. Are you planning on dropping dead in the next 15 seconds? Because if not, you're older.
Really quickly, as it comes to the accountability piece, because men will often say to us that you can't hear what we're saying. You're so lost in the way that we say it that you don't actually receive the message that we're sending you. You're so caught up because you're so emotional. You're so caught up in how it's being said that you're not listening to what's
I'm calling
being
my
said.
wife.
I love this nigga. I swear to God.
Go ahead, Dana. Finish.
Okay. Do you think it's possible that goes both ways, that applies? Because I feel like that behavior is displayed more often than not. And I think to Ratchet's point last week, like she wasn't condoning, or actually to Jeff's point, Ratchet wasn't condoning how I was speaking. She was supporting what I had to say. And I think that was lost upon a lot of the men, the viewers, the participants in the conversation, because y'all don't like the way that I speak. Y'all don't like the way that I address men in particular. And so you couldn't even hear what I was saying and the point that I was making because you were so emotional about how I was saying it and the audacity that I would have to speak to a man that way.
Okay. I think I speak for all the brothers when I say we would just like 75% of the respect you reserve for your white male supervisors.
John, what say you about Dana's question?
I've never seen this shit here. I've never seen that come out. I've seen the skankiest rutabagas. I've worked with them, but they put that shit up. When the supervisor come by with that clipboard talking about who's gonna get some more hours or not, they don't give him none of that. So I'm just saying, maybe every now and then, if you could treat me like a white male supervisor,
that'd be great. All right, John the Baptist, answer.
What I say to that is, men listen to women for years because in order to get into a woman's presence and to make her feel comfortable around you, you have to know how to speak to her in order to get her to listen to you and to accept you and to receive you. So men know what women are saying and what they're looking for, what they're thinking. I think in the process, what's happened over time, and since the beginning of time, what's happened what has actually fell apart is women don't really listen to men. It's the inverse. Women don't know what men are thinking, what men are feeling, and that's what's happening. It's not. We understand you completely because we can't get next to you unless we understand you. That's why you have incels. That's why you have a lot of incels who fail to understand the woman's nature. Men who are successful in relationships and with women that have, whether getting one night stands or whether achieving marriage for 20, 30, 40 years, you can't do that unless you know what a woman is and how she moves and the essence of a woman.
All right. Hank, what say you?
Yeah, I disagree with what she said all the way around because Ratchet sit there and said she didn't see a problem with the way she acted last week. That's what. So again,
Hold on. Let him finish.
There's no accountability. Wasn't no accountability last week, and it continues to show there's no accountability now. So,
Dana, in terms of what you're saying, I'm thinking through it. I don't think men are as stoic as we try to say. I think men are much more emotional than we want to admit. In a lot of situations, you know. So I think that masculine frame that we so-called say, hey, this is how we are. We speaking in generalities, but when you go one-to-ones, it doesn't always come to fruition like that. To be fair, I think that we take deliveries of any type better than women. I think it's a gap, but I think that delivery to I don't know, maybe 60% of men matters when it really shouldn't. Well, I don't know if it should or shouldn't. I'm just saying I don't think it should. Because what the fuck are they saying, and what can I use based out of what they said? That's how I like to process information.
I want to ask what you just said. I want to ask what you said too, Ham. What you just said there is that men are emotional, and we got to recognize this. Men can be just as emotional as women, but it comes out different. If you look at in general, women are more emotional based on how they feel about a situation. Men are more emotional about what belongs to a man, whether it's his wife, his family, his possessions, If you come at a man on something that is something that he values, something that he loves, he's gonna show you all the emotion in the world that you do not want to see. Or the opposite can be true. He can be emotional in a positive way about the things that belongs to him, wife, kids. It can be emotional. It can be love or hate.
Let me clarify, John. You're right. You just brought something. Yeah, you're 100% correct. Like I was saying the other day, my foot can get ran over by a fucking truck. I'm not crying. But if something happened to one of my kids, you know what I mean, my wife, that's a different ball game. So emotion makes sense. But what I meant to say, sensitive. Niggas is sensitive. Niggas try to act like they ain't sensitive. These niggas is borderline pussy. But I love my brothers. But I think the sensitive nature of men is coming out overwhelmingly. And so, yeah, a woman ain't gonna say, shut the fuck, like my wife ain't gonna come at me like that 100%. So that delivery matters. What I'm saying is at work, right? When the men are talking, like, yo, pick the shit up and put it the fuck down in the truck. You know what I'm saying? When we had women, you like, pick the shit up. Oh, I don't like, fuck out of here. Nigga, pick it up. Or go in the house or get fired. You know what I mean? Like, when it's like work-based, I just want the information.
Let's go.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't getting offended. But yeah, I catch your drift in terms of, you know, some of the correction y'all offer.
But with those opinions, so along those lines, I'll ask the question again differently, I guess, because now there's more context. So do you think that there is noise in how things are being said to you that you can't hear what is being said sometimes? Does that make sense?
Hold on, let me read the super chat and ask
but
it
I don't
again.
know what the
Hold on, Jeff. Hold on, Jeff.
I want to get them in. Let me just read these super chats real quick, and then John says something first. So we're gonna go John, then Uncle Jeff. Savage Red Recovery with the $2 super chat. He wasn't real. Yeah, facts. T.O. with the $5. Y'all protesting and coming at men for questioning a fairy tale and responding to disrespect from women with a brick emoji. JTB Simp. Nighties with the $2 super chat. What does that mean? John the Baptist.
He talking about me. Yeah, me and Nice. Yeah, we always shoot at each other.
Oh,
I get him later. All
right. Savage Red Recovery with the $5 super chat. Him, let's be honest. Most of the time it's 4-on-1 on the panel. That's true.
Even Love didn't agree with that statement.
What? John the Baptist being a simp? No, she ain't. Yeah. Gary Grant with the $5. Men and women have the same emotions. The only difference is men must control theirs and women are allowed to express them. Different consequences. That's a word.
Shit like that. Shit like that.
Dana,
shit like that.
New
Shit
question?
like that. Shit like that.
Yeah, we about to get out of here in this.
No, it's cool. It's just the same question. I just want to I want to know if the men feel like it's possible that there was so much emotion involved in how I was speaking that you didn't hear what I had to say.
So Dana, what I've noticed about you is that when you're not drinking and you're in your right mind, you're a clear-cut communicator.
John, I drank every single show. I'm drinking right now.
Okay. Okay, so
the devil is in the bottle. Jesus is in the bone. You need to
so maybe it's maybe it's the levels to what you're drinking in.
Some of this shit here.
Because when I watched the other night, you didn't seem like yourself. You seemed like
not
maybe
the other night.
I can look at that. Fight.
So I think,
Jeff,
but I think, but that's what I was going to
fight. You fuck your high.
So,
Uncle Jeff, hush, God.
I'm sorry. Forgive me. Keep going. I'm sorry. I apologize.
I lost my train of thought, but go ahead. I lost my train of thought.
I'm sorry, but John, I'm so sorry.
Jeff, stop apologizing.
When he said liquor, I was like, "That is."
Does he have his own show? Does he have his own?
Yeah, take it off camera. Take it off camera.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. I'm sorry.
Look.
I ain't trying to look.
Jeff, be quiet. John, I understand the point that you're trying to make, but along those lines, there's the conversation about me being disrespectful in the way that I speak. It wasn't just last week. Last week was a lot. I can admit that. I got a lot of shit going on. I'm not making excuses, but it's always been a conversation for as long as I've been on this panel, right? So take that out of the equation. You have never liked the way that I address the men on this panel. A lot of men have never addressed never liked the way that I address the men on the panel. So what I'm saying is, can you look past how I'm saying it and listen to what I'm saying? Because you guys accuse us of not being able to listen to the actual message being conveyed.
The answer to that is no. We can't look past how you're saying it, because you have to realize the way you're saying it is, and I'm gonna use your height against you for a second. You're 5'10", right? Talking like a man who's 5'10". And men not gonna look past that, because what men do, men listen to what you're saying, but then we also listen to how you are saying it. So, for example, if I come at Hink is a big dude. If I come at the Hink talking him crazy, loud, and he don't have to understand what I'm saying. He just hear the tone in which I'm saying it in. If he determines it's disrespect, he can come right back at me with more disrespect. And we keep going on the panel, correct?
I'm talking about
on the panel.
I'm not talking about real life when you can see how tall I am.
No, I'm saying on the panel too. I'm just saying on the panel. Okay. And on the panel in real life, it doesn't change. We keep thinking panel is different than real life. It's not.
You brought up her height, is why she said that. You can't see her height.
I got you.
Okay,
you're correct. You're correct.
I don't know if you're missing this point or avoiding it, but I think you kind of hit something on the. You hit the nail on the head, sister, when you said a bunch of people think that I come foul at a bunch of men. Are a bunch of people wrong?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Well, here's what we keep trying to tell y'all, and I don't think y'all getting. That anytime you are in an interaction with a black man and you come off snippy, it doesn't hurt us. It hurts you collectively, because you have put an image in this man's mind that he must take out in the world, that's being replayed over and over in his interaction with sisters. You're not making it hard for us, because we don't have a mate problem. We don't. The earth is lining up literally to have sex with us. Literally, it's the truth. We want y'all. We don't want these other people. I mean, speaking for myself, I'm telling you, I am not giving up potato salad with no raisins just to get the last word. I can't. I love black women. I love you. But I'm telling you what we need. And all we hear from you is why you should be allowed to keep doing what you're doing. I don't know if that's what you mean to say. Sister. I don't know if that's what you, hold on, almost done. I don't know if that's what you mean to say. I am telling you what we hear. You are responsible for what you mean. We are responsible for what you say. And it is up to you to get to us, the lesser communicators.
So Dana, to go back, Dana, to go to your point, I don't let you have it. Dana, to go to your point, your tone as a female is the most sacred thing you can have talking to a man. and I'll let him take over.
What I was gonna say is, how would you feel if a man came with that same energy towards you on the panel? He just came up and just call you bitch. You ain't shit, bitch. You bald head, bitch. Bitch. Ma'am, I have never heard nobody, ma'am.
So you don't watch us enough then. You don't watch us enough then.
I haven't seen nobody come up and call you a female dog or nothing.
Hold on.
I'm not even finished, man. I thought
I know. I'm going to interrupt you respectfully. Am I making that shit up?
I don't know if that's possible.
Hold on. Everybody, please pause for a second. Hamp, am I making that shit up? Do niggas come up here and start talking foul to us first? Like, I don't just... It's not, first of all, it's not just me. And they talk to all of us. They talk to Tay.
They really do. They really do.
They come up here and talking.
If somebody comes and says,
bald-headed, fat, ugly bitches regularly.
Wow. No. All right.
I haven't seen it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so we had the one incident. Barnabas, who was in his gay energy, said bitch. and then
Big Al. But nobody up here saying bitch this and bitch that.
I'm talking about the comments.
Well, that's not what Hank was saying. He's saying people don't come up here and say,
wait a minute.
But when they come, hold on. But when they come and say they got smoke, y'all bring smoke energy. But we are, and I'm saying we, because y'all with me, overwhelmingly are more insulting in terms of just words. Bitch, shut the fuck up, yada yada yada.
I can agree with that.
Okay, Brother Hamp, did you see what just happened here?
But why is that okay? That's what I'm saying, though, Dan. Why is that okay if you're able to do it and get away with it? Y'all be ready to go in on that man as soon as he has a situation like that. Like, I'm sure if Al did this or whatever the other guy, I'm sure y'all all piled up and heard it up and got on his ass for him even talking like that. I'm sure that happened. But nobody. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. No, you go ahead.
No, but what I'm saying is, I haven't seen nobody, or did nobody say that last week? Danny, you might have went too far with that baby girl. You might have went too far. Well, how about you tone it down just a little bit? That wasn't even the case. Yeah, I don't know. They could have did it on the back chat. I wouldn't have witnessed to that. I don't know.
I'm saying, I hear you. What I'm saying is, when men do come up here and they're disrespectful to us, like I know y'all don't believe this, but I said it and I meant it. I don't throw the first punch. Okay, it's reactionary. I'm not saying that that's necessarily justified in every situation, but I don't come up here, or when the men come up here and as soon as they open their mouths, we're not just disrespecting. We're not just popping off. It's reactionary. It's in response. We're being defensive of us constantly being attacked, as we have said several times this evening.
Could I?
You also know that you cutting a man off is a form of disrespect.
Could I give a suggestion?
Can we agree on that?
Yeah.
You cutting me off, or just shutting me down, or telling me this and that. And I'm in the middle of a conversation. That's a form of disrespect.
You want me to apologize?
I think I have a suggestion that might help the sisters the next time that this happens.
Right. Go on.
Is this your show, Brother Hamp?
Oh, yes, sir.
Okay, Sister Dana, tell me what you think of this. The next time somebody come out their mouth with the old word for rutabaga, because rutabaga is a new word, and we know who we talking about, right? And they deserve it. But they come out with that old word, or they're disrespectful to you. How about this? Excuse me, Brother Hamp. This brother's being disrespectful to me, or this is how I feel about it. Could you or some other brothers talk to this brother? Is that all right? As a suggestion?
Brother Geoff. Can I speak for you, Hank, on this? Can I say something on me, Hamp?
Yeah, go ahead.
So what you're asking Hamp to do is, or what you're asking the women to, well, you put Hamp in this situation.
Mm-hmm.
You asking women to judge the situation if this is volatile or not.
Yeah.
You asking her to judge a man.
Yes.
According to her standards, was disrespectful.
Absolutely.
Okay, so now
when she goes to a man, when she go to you, John the Baptist, on some bullshit, you gonna say politely, sister, that's bullshit. Keep going.
Okay,
or you gonna say, you know what? You got a point, sis. Bruh, you out of line. You shouldn't have said that. Is what I think will happen because it'll be put back on the men. I am trying to make these men responsible. You said that's what you wanted. Here is what it is. When you feel disrespected in this room full of men or anywhere else in the Alpha Centauri quadrant, it is not your right to be disrespectful back. You know why the queen's shoes don't get muddy? Because the queen don't walk in the mud.
Jeff,
you will
Jeff,
find. I'll say this and I'll be done, sis. I'll say this and I'll be done.
There
you will never find.
That's disrespectful, Dana.
You will never find.
You did the same thing I did. You trying to interrupt them too.
You all right, I'm about to interrupt all of y'all. Hurry, make y'all points. I'm tired.
My wife's sister, the women in my family, my daughters, you will never, bet you my pinky finger, find them in the face of another man in any situation, electronic or otherwise, because they know that they have men who do their bidding with men and that it is not their place to ever be in a man's face, because that's why I don't get in these brothers' face. That's why John the Baptist got respect for Brother Wink, because it might not go how you think. It might not. This is why we have this Mortal Kombat shield between us that we go, I'm going to take a walk before this get too hot. You don't have that. You don't. And I'm trying to tell you that you about to have some Lot's wife experiences because you don't want to get it from the person who gave it to you. You want to get it from God. And when you in a man's face, giving him word for word, that is not your place. Stay in your place is only offensive when you don't understand that your place is queen. I'm done.
That's solid. You want to respond, Dana?
Yeah, I do. And as far as the initial point that you were making, Uncle Jeff, we have to understand. I know that you say that there's no difference between what happens here and what happens in real life. But the fact of the matter is, if somebody comes up here and they're disrespecting us, which is every show, if we run the hand every time somebody comes up here to disrespect us, we wouldn't have a fucking show.
I disagree.
Well,
you wouldn't have to if it was handled correctly.
Jeff,
it was handled correctly, you wouldn't have that problem.
Jeff, let me finish, please. Let me finish, please. Because the fact of the matter is that has happened. But we have a show to maintain, and we have to be able to. What HAMP will do is encourage us to have conversation that is open and that it is not being clouded by the noise of emotion on either side. Okay. If there is a person who crosses, if they really like legit cross a line, I don't think that HAMP would just sit there and not say anything. But he knows that we can, Jeff. But he knows that he can handle ourselves to an extent. Okay. But along those lines, I know HAMP in real life. And if I see him in real life, these situations would never happen. But if it did, and I don't even have to be out with him. If I see him in the vicinity and I say, HAMP, this man is being disrespectful, there's no way that he's not going to say, or whatever. There's no way that he's not going to intervene on my behalf as his friend and as a woman.
Okay.
And also in real life, and I don't talk to y'all like this in real life.
And just to clarify the points, the men, they take that shit on the chin. Pause.
Thank you.
Like when y'all be telling them to shut up. Even John, like John been told to shut up. John don't never say shut up back.
That's not.
And then the bitch word doesn't. I mean, it just doesn't come out.
If you don't, brother. I really wish I had time to do this, but my wife just getting back in town, and I'm trying to make my neighbors call the police. So I got to bounce. But there are 100 holes in what you just said with regard to there is no defense for a woman ever being disrespectful back to a man ever.
No, so let me. Oh, he just ran. I'm gonna tear Uncle Jeff ass up. When I get a one-on-one with him, he gonna see. Cause the talking is cute, and I think he said a lot of dope shit. But I'm gonna kick his ass on a couple of them points for sure. I think the key is this is a show. It's called This Might Be Risky. So I think that we do need to have a level of decorum, but at the same time, it is for debating, right? So this is a different forum than if Dana's outside and she having a back and forth with Hank and you start to raise your voice. That's not tolerable. You know what I'm saying? But on this shit, it is what it is. You know what I mean? But, you know, to his point though, fuck you, shut up, bitch. That shit is, y'all be wilding with that shit.
I think my only pushback on Uncle Geoff. Not that I think he was completely wrong.
I like Uncle Geoff though.
My only pushback is that I don't think you should leave it up to them because the way the panel was set up and because I understand how hemp works. I don't think the women should judge that because I've seen how the women operate. I've seen how they move. They get emotional in defense of themselves and not to the point of the argument. And I think hemp is a better judgment of what true disrespect is. And so I think he can judge a man better than these women can. So that's what I'm push back at on Geoff, is that I don't think you should leave it up to women to make that judgment. And then it's like the women putting a battery in your box, in your bag. Mm-hmm. That's the part that makes me upset with that statement.
Yeah, no, 100%. And like you said, John the Baptist, like I always sense it. You know what I'm saying? Like I could tell when the guys start to get annoyed a little bit. But even last week, they still was kind of just saying like the brick shit, which could have been a little bit, you know, on that line, kind of like who you don't want to tell somebody getting hit face with a brick, but it still wasn't that egregious because of what they was getting in the first place. Like I think I counted the bitches. I think Trigger Mike was called a bitch 316 times. And he never said nothing. He didn't say it. Like he just didn't say it back. You know what I'm saying? Like
that sounds a bit extreme.
I might be wilding. Yeah, John. Brave Dave. John is old. He meant to say back, but you know his.
I actually corrected. I did say back too. I did say box first, and I said back later.
Hey, but Dave, go ahead, leave him alone. His Alzheimer's acting up. Don't worry about
it. Get your 30 seconds of fame.
Damn, man, I love y'all, man. What you say, Hank?
I ain't got nothing. No, I was gonna say I ain't really got too much to say. I just hope a lesson was able to be learned doing these conversations.